Did you know that you may be able to keep your house and qualify for Medicaid? Hello, my name is Tim McCurdy and I am an elder law attorney practicing in St. Louis, Missouri. As an elder law attorney, we're often helping clients navigate the complex world of Medicaid eligibility to pay for nursing home care. Medicaid is what we call a needs-based program. So that means that there are certain asset limits that are tied to eligibility. You won't be eligible for Medicaid to pay for nursing home care costs if you have too many assets. And the asset eligibility limits are quite low. For example, in Missouri in 2021, an individual can only have $5,000 in assets and qualify for Medicaid coverage. You may say, well, how does anyone ever qualify for Medicaid? If you have a house or you have a car, you won't be eligible for Medicaid. But when we're talking about the asset limit for Medicaid, Medicaid distinguishes between countable resources and exempt resources. Exempt resources do not count against your eligibility. So when we talk about the asset limit, we're just talking about the countable resources, and your countable resources have to be below the asset limit. You say, well, which resources are exempt? And for many people, one of their most valuable assets is going to be their home. And your primary residence is one of those exempt assets. So it won't count against eligibility for Medicaid. Now, there are various rules that apply for this exempt asset. For example, you can only have one home be counted as exempt, your primary residence. If you have more than one home, one of those is going to be a countable resource. There's also an equity limit. The idea being that you can't be living in $1 million mansion and qualify for Medicaid. In 2021 in Missouri, the equity limit is $603,000. Now that's equity only, so if you have a mortgage on the home, that will decrease the amount of equity in terms of the equity limit. Also, the equity limit does not apply if there's a spouse or a child under 21 or a disabled child that lives in the home. You must also have an intent to return home. The reason that Medicaid allows the house to be an exempt resource is the concern that you may go into the nursing home, receive Medicaid, and then improve to the point where you can return home. And they don't want to have a policy in place that required you to sell or transfer that home, so now you have no place to go when you're able to leave the nursing home. Now, the qualifications or what you have to show to establish an intent to return home will vary from state to state, but you'll likely at least have to express that intent to return home. One of the other reasons that Medicaid allows for your home to be an exempt resource is that they have the ability to recover against that home when the person who has received Medicaid passes away. So they can do this in two ways. One would be placing a lien on the home while the person is living and receiving benefits for nursing home care. The other is through what we call estate recovery on death, where Medicaid can either go into probate or force open a probate estate to collect against the value of the home. So those are just some of the rules and planning concerns that can apply when you're thinking about eligibility and the ability of a person to maintain ownership of their home. But keep in mind that for many people, one of their most valuable resources, their assets, their home, will be considered exempt when we're talking about Medicaid eligibility. Hope you found this information to be useful. Please keep in mind that this is general information and should not be used to make legal decisions. If you have additional questions about Medicaid eligibility, if there's anything that I can assist you with, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.